Hello everybody. Angie here. I'm coming on to do a make for you guys with my series I created here on YouTube, hashtag 1 to 6 Picks Challenge, Glue Book Edition. This is where I roll a single die, whatever number that lands on, I select that number of random prompts and we just do a glue book spread with it. Just an easy collage, just something simple, just a way to use up your bits and pieces, mix and match pieces that you may not normally put together, and just see what you can create. See what beautiful piece of artwork you can come up with. Alrighty, so with that being said, I am up to week 39. And the prompts that were chosen were zigzag, booklet, rough, dice, lace, button, bells, pieces, sanded, and bridge. 10 items. That's part of the challenge, guys. When you've got so many items and you've just got to get them in there and, you know, make them kind of work together, it can get difficult. And it can also be fun. So if this is something that interests you, please feel free to join in at any time. This is a series that I am doing, and I started with over 200 prompts, and I am running this series until I get through all these prompts, and I still have quite a few left. All right, so let's get started. I'm working out of my collage book here, which is about a 5x7 little booklet, and we're just keeping it light and easy. Okay, I'm almost out of pages, so I hope I run out of prompts before I get done with pages. I don't know what I'm going to do. Okay, let me get myself situated here. Okay, so I'm going to leave this to the side so I don't forget anything. And I think I've got all my prompts right here. And luckily, guys, I found just about everything on the prompt list out of my die cut box, if you can believe that. The only thing I had to get is sanded. I've got a sanding block. We're gonna have to sand something. I've got my buttons in this little tin here, and I had to print off a bridge off of the internet. But other than that, I thought about, let me show you. I had these little die cuts here of this fence. I thought about just cutting these down and making a makeshift kind of a bridge kind of a thing across the page, which would be kind of creative and kind of fun. But I was like, you know what? I'm just going to print a picture, keep it simple. Okay, and that'll kind of also work as like a background for myself. So, all right, let's get started. So I've got all these die cuts here for the most part that I'm going to be working with to do my make today. And let's go. Now, I wanted to show you, I printed 2 of these because this is the actual image that I saw that I liked. Got a bridge going across this way and a bridge coming down this way. It's kind of a dark scene, night, but I just caught my eye, so I wanted that. So when I went to print it, this is the only part that printed. It cut off right there. So I went and printed it again. So now I've got 2. So as I was thinking, I could just run these 2 together right across my page like this. That's what I thought. So then I don't waste my image and waste the ink and the time that it took for me to print these out. Okay, so I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to cut these down so they'll both be the same height and size. How is everybody, by the way? Hope everybody's doing well. And who knows, maybe I can still get that bridge in there. I don't know. All right, let's see. It's going to be a little bit long, so if I put them together, I'll lose a little bit on each side, but that's okay. Oh, how about let's overlap them a little bit, and it'll look like they're kind of joining right there. Let's do that. I like that. Okay, let's start there. And I'm probably going to be using a combination of glue stick and wet glue. Just depending on, because some of these die cuts are a little thicker, so I will need, you know, a little wet glue. Okay, I want to bring this closer together, I think. Right about there. Yeah, I like that. It looks like it's a continuation there. And I think I want to keep this little post here. If you can see that, it's kind of, like I said, it's a dark scene. I think I want to keep that. So I'm gonna, so I can cut a straight line somewhat. I'm gonna go like this. and use that as a ruler, so to speak. And try and get a straight line cut. Okay. And then we'll go across. I'm gonna have to trim off a little bit off this end. Oh well. I hope for the best. Still a little long. Okay, that'll work. All right, let's see. Let's work with our placement here since we've got a lot of pieces, and then I'll decide before I start gluing down. Okay, we're just going to center that right in the middle. And I know I have some on the top and bottom, but maybe by the time I get done with all my pieces, for the most part, the page will be completely full. And I'm going to take this button tin and kind of hold my corner down right there. All right, so that's one bridge. Actually, I have two bridges, so bridges, plural. Okay, so that's one of the prompts right there. Let's see what else we've got. Button I'll probably save till last. All right, now zigzag. Let me go over all these pieces with you. Zigzag in my die cuts, I found this. It's just a piece of a zigzag, just a little small element, zigzag. So I'm going to use that for zigzag. For booklet, I have all these little teeny pieces that will cut out of a framed piece. And I have more. Let's see, hold on. And I thought I'd use these and make a little booklet out of. Okay, all these little scrap pieces here. See, it pays to save things, guys. It really does. You never know when it's going to come in handy. Let me see if that's all of them. And I was thinking those will be my pages. And then I have this little die cut clip here. And I'm going to put that right there. Yep, let's do that right first. And make like a little booklet. But then I also, hold on, see, then I also had these bigger ones, and I thought about folding them in half. I don't know. What do you guys think? It looks more like a book. But booklet can be like a tablet, kind of. I can do a few of these pages together. Put them inside one another. Like that. And then I got a little booklet that way as well. Or these can be the pages inside the booklet. I don't know. A booklet, you can, as I'm saying, sometimes if you don't have the actual item, you got to get creative and make something, makeshift something. And that's when it gets fun, guys, because you don't know what we could do like that. A booklet, that's your little booklet with some little writing pages on the front. We can do it that way. And I even have this acetate, so I wasn't sure that could be like the cover. I kind of like that. Let's do that, because I'd like to use up as many of these pieces as I can. So we're going to put some glue down. Between all these pages. And then I'm still going to even use this clip as well. Okay, hang in there with me, guys. Let's see what we can come up with all these darn prompts. I was really pleased when I was able to find majority of them just out of my die cut box. I was like, oh, that's nice. I don't have to go searching. Oh, I did have to search for one. One of the prompts are dice. And I was like, what am I going to do for dice? But then I remembered I have a dice die cut. And I had to search, but I found it. So I had to die cut out some dice. But still, it's die cuts. So, the majority, that's what I'm using in this make today. I'm just going to glue all these pages together. Get them down. And there we go, guys. We've got ourselves a little booklet. How cute. How stinking cute is that? Now, how we're going to get all these to come together, I don't know yet. I don't know if I need that acetate. Okay, so that's the base. There's one. There's a prompt booklet. Okay. Zigzag, we talked about that. Rough. Now, rough, I'm not sure what I'm going to do there, but I had this die cut of a puppy, and dog's hair can be rough, depending on the type of dog it is. Dogs have rough hair. I had this die cut of a man. Men can be kind of rough and tough. You know, thought maybe that could suffice as rough, as well as leaves. I have these die cut of these old leaves, and leaves can be dry and can be rough, you know, when they get dry and get a little brittle. So I grabbed those, okay? So out of something, we'll use those, okay? And then dice. I die cut me 2 dice out of a piece of black scrap paper, and that's these right here. Figured that stand out the best since they're so small. Okay, so we'll use those somewhere. Lace, as you can see, I have some little scrap pieces of lace here. I grabbed those. Okay, so we'll use one or all of those. Button, I have that in here. Now bells, I had those on a digital, and I had to cut them out. They're like kind of like those old vintage styled bells. I don't know how many I have here. That's 4. Here's another one. 5. Is that it? Oh, here's another one. Looks like I got 6 of those. Okay, sanded. We're going to have to sand something. And bridge. I've got the bridge. And then the prompt is pieces. And that's can kind of suffice as all these items are pieces, because I'm going to use more than one. So, oh, and circle. Right? Was circle one of them? Oh, I thought circle was one of them, because I grabbed these die cuts that were all circles. A scallop circle, circle and a star, and these were some numbered circles. I don't know, I thought a circle was one of the prompts. I guess not. Maybe we could still use those. And like I said, I grabbed these little fence dies, because I thought maybe I can makeshift a bridge, but I don't think I want to take the time to do that. So I may not use those. Okay, let's see what we can come up with. All right, so I got some yellow at the top and the bottom. Can I cover that up anyway? Let's see. I can go for the majority up to the top, and then maybe bring all the other elements down below to kind of fill that in. I think that's what I'll start with, because if I don't start putting things down, I get very indecisive, and then I want to change my mind 500 times. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put this down. So how is everybody doing? Everybody doing well? Hope everybody's doing good. Their New Year's getting off to a good start. Okay. Yeah, I'll bring that up to the top. And if I have a little bit of yellow showing at the bottom, it's no big deal. Not the biggest deal in the world. It's not a type. All right. So see, like I could put the dog. That'll help fill in. Or the man. Which one do I want to use? He's kind of light and bright. He really stands out, doesn't he? I don't know if I could color him, ink him up, make him a little darker. Or I could do them both. Maybe them standing together. Looks like he's petting him on his head. Look at that. Okay, maybe we can do that. So that would be rough. If I use one or both of them, that will be my rough element. Zigzag. Put that down here to kind of fill in this space. Put that maybe there. Notebook. We can just stick that anywhere, I suppose. That is really cute. I think that's just darling. I'm gonna crease that a little bit better though. Maybe it'll stay a little closed a little bit more. Yeah. Okay, so we'll put that down. Gotta do the dice. Maybe we put the dice by the dog. Maybe something like that. And maybe something like that. I'm trying to hold this down. But we're gonna have to do something rough. So I'm thinking, since I'm feeling all these papers, this is probably the thickest piece right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sand this a little bit, okay? I want you guys to see me sanding it so you know it's been sanded. I'm using one of the prompts correctly. Try and sand those tips. Knock off some of that black. Okay. And as a matter of fact, that'll make the dog look a little rougher. For the prompt rough, let's stuff him up a little bit as well. Maybe his paws. Maybe a little bit of his tail. There we go. Maybe the tips of his ears. I like it. Okay. See? Got creative there. I like it. Okay. That made a mess, but okay. So if we put him back there. Now we got sanded, we got bridge, we got booklet, we got zigzag, we got dice, bells, lace. Let's see where we could put the lace to make it look somewhat nice. Maybe put the lace here. It's not quite long enough, but we can combine the two like that. I can live with that, I think. Maybe go across with those two. All right. Bring those dice back in a minute. Let's see. Zigzag, booklet, rough, dice, lace, bells. We gotta get those bells in somewhere, huh? Let's see. Where are they? I don't know if I like that though. Maybe the dog. For some reason I want to use, hold on. I want to use these circles, I think. What if we use, I don't necessarily need that number. So we can put that down like that. And let's see what we can come up with. Let's layer these. I got them out, so I just want to kind of use them. Okay, so there's pieces. That'll be pieces right there. I thought we needed circles, but that could be pieces. Kind of looks like it could be a ball for him, huh? But I'm trying to think of elements that will help cover up some of this bottom section here. I need to glue that down a little bit better. All right. So I think I want to put this here. Let's see. Got these. Why don't we make a little cluster? Let's see how that'll look. Tuck it behind here. I like that. Okay, so we'll use the leaves as rough then. Okay, let me see if I can hold these down just like that and tack them down. Okay, that fills in that section a little bit. I like that. And we can stick a button right on top of there. Good idea, Angie. Good idea. Okay, then if we put the dog and then the lace, clean that edge up. You can tuck that underneath. Kind of like that. Let's do it. I guarantee you guys just start and you think, what the heck with all these prompts, but by the time you get done, I promise you'll end up with something that you like, you know, that you're pleased with, that makes you smile and makes you happy. Look at that, it's coming together. Okay, now do I want to use the man? Well, I already got something rough. I got the leaves, so I don't necessarily have to use both, but I can. Just to fill it in. I like the idea that his hand sits right on his head. You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm not going to glue that hand down until I get the dog in place, though. And I'm going to have him kind of hang over, and I'll just trim off the extra. Okay. Tuck it under his hand right there. I like it. Okay, now we can glue the hand down. I like it. Very nice. Okay, booklet. Let's just cluster that in with that, I think. Kind of a little cluster of things there. Do I want to put any more lace? I had another, oh, here it is. Had another one. Yeah, let's go ahead and use it. That white pops off at the top nicely. Just gonna tuck that right there. I'm liking it. Okay, now we still got to get this in, huh? I should have put it right there, but that's too late. Okay, we're going to put it right there. Let's see if I can get it underneath these a little bit. Get that texture and that layering. Nice. I like it. Okay. Okay. We're getting somewhere, guys. Now we need the dice and button. What else? So let's find a button that we like. I'm thinking a button right on the middle of that little thing there. No, I don't think green goes. White. That looks okay. Kind of brings in that color there. There's a black one with some blue. Does it need to be that big though? Here's a black one. It's a little flatter. Yeah, that's the ticket. Okay, I think we'll put that there. And then, oh, we still need to do the bells and the dice. So, all right, let's go ahead and put this down. And let me think here. Yes, I like that little cluster. Okay, so we got to get these bells in here. Why don't we, I got it, guys. We're going to dangle these from the bridge. And I need some tweezers to assist me a little bit here. Make sure I position them well. Let's see how many I can get in here. It says bells, so I definitely need more than one. You can have them overlaying a little bit. Can I get it behind his ear? Yes, I think I can. I think I can. There we go. It's kind of cute, actually. I think I'm going to dangle one right there from the tip of that zigzag point also. Because why not? I like it. Okay. I still got more. Let's see. Try and get it underneath. Oh, perfect. You can still see it. Okay. I'll go ahead and put this down. All right. And I have one more. I might as well use it, guys. And this one will sit on the top of this one here. Cute. Okay, now we got to put the dice. And I'm thinking the dice should go over here by the dog. Because we've got black on the left, so we need to bring some of that black over to the right. Maybe something like that. What do you think? That's not bad. It's not, oh, we need booklet. We gotta get the booklet in here. We're gonna leave it open. I guess I could close it. Let's see how it looks open first. And I'm gonna tie that in with the cluster here a little bit, or yeah. Just like that. I like it open. I'm gonna leave it open. Okay. That is kind of cute. I mean, just some random pieces put together, and look, you've got yourself a really cute little scene. Look at that. I don't think that's bad at all. Okay, let's make sure I've got all the prompts here. Zigzag. I've got the zigzag. Booklet. We've got our booklet. Rough. For rough, I use the man, the dog, as well as the leaves. All those can be rough. Dice. We've got dice. Lace. We've got trims of crocheted trim lace there. We've got our, oops, I'm sorry, keep bumping this. Got a button. We've got bells, 3 along the left side, 3 dangling from the bottom of the bridge. Sanded, I sanded portion of the dog and the tips of the zigzag. Bridge, we've got the back element, and pieces, we've got a whole bunch of pieces. All these are considered pieces, so they all kind of work together. Pieces of paper. Okay, so that'll be my pieces. And then I've got multiple there, my pieces here with my circles. So either of those can be considered pieces. All right, guys, I like it. I almost feel like it needs a word element, like a little phrase like wanderer or something, you know? But yeah, I'm going to call that done. I like it. I'm surprised at how well it came out. And I always say that a lot because I never know how it's going to turn out. But in the end, you always end up liking your finished piece. Very, very cute. All right, guys, well, I'm going to call that done. Let's roll my dice and see what I roll for the next make. Okay, and after I pull my pieces, I discard them so they don't get reused, okay? I don't look, I just do a random pull. All right, so that's our make for today. Let's see what we get for the next one. 1. Now that can be difficult as well. That's a challenge, okay? Because you've got to put something else with it. So it can be easier or harder, however you look at it. Let's see what we get. And the piece, the prompt, should I say, is clock. All right. All right, guys. Well, that's what I've got for you today. Here's today's make. And for next one, I'll be using the prompt of clock along with whatever else I can think of. All right, guys. I hope you guys liked the make today. Thank you so very much for stopping by my channel. As always, take care. God bless. And I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.